Hey everyone, you ever have that person who kind of always puts you in check and says, yeah, you did that, but did you remember this? Or did you know this? Or did you have this? That little voice that doubts you, questions you, is doing a stat check, a fact check, an observer, a ninja watcher, if you were. And you are so excited to celebrate something, and they say, yeah, but you could have done this, or you should have done that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my mind. That's what happens. So today, for those fact and stat checkers who are strong, ambitious with a calculator and numbers, it states on my YouTube channel that I have 1,000 videos. However, another segment in the stats sheet says I have 951, 49 shy of 1,000. So I challenge you guys. Let me know in the comments below which one is accurate, the 951 or the true 1,000. Regardless, in a few months, less than 2 months, if my math serves me right, I'll be about 1,000 pounds. 1,000 pounds, I'll have 1,000 videos, 1,000 pounds of content of failures and stressors. But that's what happens. You have that someone where you can have the most amazing day and they find out the kinks and crinks and wrinkles in it. It brings me back to that movie. For those of you, I'm dating myself, but National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, right? And so for those of you, I'll just kind of paint the picture. So it's an American family just kind of going about and living life, real deal, the crazy but sometimes extreme circumstances that happen amongst families. And so, spoiler alert, fast forward if you want to not hear this and you haven't seen it yet. So Clark wants to do the best for his family. He wants to make the Christmas season bright, having everybody at his home and having just the most beautiful decorations and so forth. So he wants to decorate his house with lights, Christmas lights. Gets the family involved and a whole bunch of Griswold stuff happens, and then he finally gets it. He takes the 2 power cords and pushes them together. Boom! It's beautiful, breathtaking, and bright as can be. His family's ecstatic. And then it happens. That one family member says, the little lights aren't twinkling, Clark. Boom. Balloon popped, bubble bursted, rained on the parade, whatever you want to call it. If you think about it, that's what happens in our ego. That's what happens in our mindset when we start to self-doubt things. I'm guilty of this. I do so much. I make sure that my T's are crossed, my I's are dotted. And no matter how much I help people, no matter how much I do, the little hamster in my brain says, well, you could have done that. You didn't do that. Or remember when you did that? Or you should have done that. I want you to think about a time that you've given 1,000% and you were the one that said, great job. You did it. You look yourself in the mirror and say, we made it happen. We achieved it. This is what doesn't happen a lot of times. Our focus goes on the mistakes, could have, should have, would have in our lives. We get stuck in the past. We get stuck in our own mindset and say, if I only did this, or I could have done this, what else do I have to do? I want you to start celebrating your moments. That's what I'm doing. All my life, I could be doing the labor work and somehow I forget to give myself a pat on the back. Oh, well, I did this because he or she taught me this. I did this because he or she told me this. I did this or he or she shared this with me. Why are we the last people to give ourselves credit? That's what society has taught us. To be selfless as opposed to selfish. But if you think about it, being selfish is so much more important, because it allows our frequency and vibration to say, hey, it's possible. I've done it. It's just amazing how the mind works. It's a muscle. It needs to be worked. It needs to be exercised, but it also needs to be rested and recognized. We are so quick to either blame others or give credit to others for our successes and failures, when wholeheartedly it's the reflection of the mirror that's held accountable and responsible, both good, bad, and ugly. When things go wrong, we're so quick to blame others. When things go right, we give credit to others. Some of us, when things go wrong, we play the blame game, and when things go right, we're like, I did that. But if you ask someone, what has been your achievements this past year? What goals, what tasks have you achieved today? How have you contributed to your family, society, to yourself? It's hard for us to answer because we don't state our gratitudes in life. And I'm reminded time and time again, as early as before this video, be grateful for what you do every single second. As much as we critique ourselves is as much as we need to celebrate ourselves. I'm constantly looking for the finish line, looking for the end of the result, as opposed to being in the moment and embracing the journey. Then there's times when you're like, oh my goodness, I did so much, and nobody's around to share it with. Or, oh my gosh, I've done so much, and somebody's like, yeah, well, you did 99% of it, but there's 1% you missed. Has this happened to you? Do you feel like, what's the point? I'm doing it. I'm grinding. I'm focusing. I'm working so hard. When is it my time? When am I going to get recognition? Ladies and gentlemen, that recognition first and foremost has to come from within. We have to be grateful. We're here to live another day. We're here, we have another breath of our life. But we're here because of the mistakes, failures, and choices we made in the past. So I ask you, when have you celebrated you? When have you acknowledged your achievements? When have you realized your self-worth? Look, I know it's lonely. I know it's hard when you're constantly helping others and then fade goes to black and nobody's around. I know when you're grinding and you're just like, am I on a treadmill or am I climbing the ladder? But it starts with you. It starts with our reflection. Don't feel like you're underappreciated. Don't feel like you're left out. Don't feel like you're alone. Don't feel like you're unworthy. Because once you look in the mirror and say, great job, or say, we messed up again, but this time, what did we learn from it? That's what matters most. And that's what people recognize. That's what people see. I was so focused and so excited to see the stats. I hit 1,000 videos. Then I fact-checked, and then one area says 951. It brought me back to those naysayers, those non-believers, those ones in Clark Griswold's lives. Yes, I did all this, but you forgot this. Those are the voices. Those are the thoughts. Those are the subconscious naysayers and egos in our minds that would put us into paralysis. Be grateful you're here today. You live another day. Be grateful. You've done so much. And if you don't know, I challenge you. My mentor taught me this. Write down 3 things you achieved today. And believe you me, no matter how big or how small, trust me, there's more than 3 things you've achieved today. And just aim to do that much better and more the next day. My name is Andrea Mason, alumna of Dr. Les Brown, your personal accountability coach. To learn more, check out Andrea Mason's, and I'll see you in the next video. Be well.